Okay, go ahead. Part 2, Electric Boogaloo of Late Night Talk. Directive weapons now.
So, well, let's go with
Directive weapon, well
customization
fun.
first. Customizations first, then we'll go into directives, which is the big one. Customization. We are able to do weapon camos and we're able to do vehicle camos. Why aren't we able to customize the colors of 1, base building, and 2, bastions?
I feel like they
Does
want.
not-
Here's the thing. I'm gonna cut in immediately. I feel like they were going to do that. Not sometime last year. I remember the roadmap they put out. They did have. They said Bastion customization that was on the roadmap, but it got cut. I feel like they were going to look into it, but it
Yeah.
never got to the.
They were
area.
gonna do like
they got rid of the part that most people were actually the most excited about. Sadly enough.
Give us
I
Warhorn
want
for the
to
Bastion.
Okay, yes, Horn for Bastion, but also, what if we got like a giant emblem of your outfit plastered on the fucking the deck of the Bastion, for example?
No,
or
not
or
just
the
that.
belly.
Not just that, but like on the map too. When you're looking at it,
No.
You do.
You do kind of
already
have
on the map.
you kind of do have that
No.
already with your decal though.
Yeah. But
We're talking about on the fashion itself now, though.
yeah, and on top of that, I think that you should be able to color it because we're able to do that with the Bastion, which is an outfit resource. So why not?
You mean the
be
Colossus?
able
You
to
mean the
put-
Colossus?
The Colossus. Sorry, I am.
It's
like-
late at night. It's late
It
at
should
night.
be.
Yeah.
It should be.
So the Colossus
yellow.
were able to do that, but the Bastion were not able to, which is kind of weird to me. I don't know
I
why.
want
It's such
to
a
be
small
able to
thing that you
put-
can immediately fix, and I feel like you could get some wacky combinations of, let's be honest, pink Bastions, rainbow Bastions, black Bastions, all that kind of stuff, fun stuff. BMing and all that kind of.
Yeah.
God, Black
Black
Bastion
Bastion.
during nighttime.
Stick camo
Oh,
Bastion.
No.
Stick camel
No,
Bastion motive. Let's make us
stick
stick out like
camo
a sword
Bastion.
thumb.
We get the toilet flush courtesy horn on the Bastion.
Oh god.
I want to be able to have the ugly ass Red Hawk camo on a Bastion.
Oh come
Yeah,
on,
stick
it's not that
camo.
bad.
It's pretty
not
bad.
that
I hate it.
It's fine.
Camo.
I don't
Yeah.
know why you
Camo's
guys
not that
hate it.
bad.
It's like one of the only good-looking camos.
Listen,
I
motive.
agree with- I agree with
I will
motive,
say it
it's
this
fine.
way. Our stick camo, I do like it, but there's one gripe I have with it. It makes me stick out like a sore thumb. That's my only
Yeah.
complaint with it.
Who
That's
gives
the
a
thing.
shit, really?
Other than that though, I don't think it looks terrible. I just think it's tactically wise, I just stick out like a sore thumb
I
all
mean,
the time.
It
you're
is a
red and you're a
dress
hawk.
uniform.
What more do you want?
Yeah.
It's a dress uniform. That's fair.
It's a dress uniform.
I mean, to be
Dress
fair,
reds.
the stick cam
Instead of
camo's
dress
better than
blues,
the.
it's
Is it
Reds.
stress reds?
To put
So-
it this way,
Hold on,
in my
hold on.
opinion
Let
about the
Death
stick
Dragon
cam
go.
at least.
Go ahead, Death Dragon.
The stick cam is a fine camo comparatively to what you get from the loyalty one when you make your faction specific character.
Agreed.
I'm sad that NSL doesn't get one, but
Something they could
and
look
the
at.
other
You're not
default
really
camo you
loyal.
can get as well. Because I get 2 camos whenever I make characters for faction specific characters.
Mm. So,
I wish they scream more though. If we're gonna talk about NSO camos, they scream more faction aligned rather than just being pastel.
Ah,
So,
true.
One mono.
More default camo on the robot itself to identify which faction is on.
Right,
That is
yeah,
true. I do
exactly.
think that is something that they should definitely look into because it's like I've
Because
I've run by you. We've all run by robots and we had to take a double take. Like, is that guy on my team? I can't remember.
the only time that you
Yeah.
can tell the enemy robot is an enemy is when they pop an overshield. Is it green?
See,
And that's DS. Is it blue? That's NC.
Green.
Is it red? Yeah. Sometimes it's green for DS. For some
so let me just point this out. I don't have any problems with that because I'm
I've never
NC. I
seen that.
get at every robot I see and every person I see. So
Well, that's just NC culture right there. You just
Yeah,
take
I don't-
killing as
yeah.
part of your part
I don't
of your
I don't
like,
have a
thing.
problem with enemy distinction because everyone's my enemy, including my own.
And I never had
teammates.
an issue with identifying which side the robot's on, because I always see the fucking marker of, like,
I
hey, that's a
do-
friendly.
I do agree that maybe a little bit more color distinction is definitely necessary.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that. But going back to customization, base building,
Yes.
I don't understand why we can't color our bases because
Or
what
put
we-
an emblem on the walls.
well, actually, the banner.
The
We
banner.
should have an option for our outfit banner and not just a
Yeah.
faction banner. I think that'd be pretty cool.
I feel like they should just add
so-
just another just another flag they add.
Just add another second banner.
It's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like
also.
it's just called decal banner. It just puts down whatever
Yeah.
decal you
And
have.
it-
on
Yeah,
it.
no, make it
Going
cost.
back-
You can also make it cost merit instead, which would be something
Yeah,
else
make
that
it
you can use
cost
for
merit.
merit.
True.
Yeah,
have
which
one
we don't.
thing.
Which gripe on merit,
Lemon
we
has
don't have
one
enough to
thing.
spend on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
they could
unrelated.
do a lot more with merit.
It's unrelated to this, but then after this, I'm just gonna go to bed. I'm tired.
Absolutely.
Alright.
But I really wish that we would continue the lore.
I agree.
That's
Yeah.
I am
That's a
surprised.
subject on
I
its
am
own.
kind of surprised that we didn't get another chapter with the construction update. I was
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah,
like,
that one
that's
seems like
interesting.
big enough to be like a chapter in of itself.
Well, I mean,
wonder-
they had a chapter with the containment site, and that was just one giant building.
I
No,
wonder
no.
if the next chapter of like lore is the return of the Vanu alien race in some way.
Nah.
I don't know.
we
You're
got
asking
that
a
in-
lot
we
of,
got that
You're
in-
asking a
No,
lot
no,
there,
no, no,
buddy.
But it was
know,
so fucking cool.
Lemon, let me
issue-
stop you. Let me stop you right there, right now. Campaign
No,
one
you won't
kind
stop
of
me.
had
Fuck
that.
you.
No, campaign one already had that kind of.
What happened? What?
Oh,
one.
I guess yeah. Shattered Warp Gate.
And
The
in
first
campaign
chapter.
2, when Osher came out, that was also a
I
thing.
wasn't here for any of that.
Yeah, I'm letting you know that
Yeah,
it
you missed
has
out on that.
happened.
Lemon. Let's put it this way, Lemon. You're not the only one that missed out on that. I missed out on it myself.
Specifically the wording of I am part of the Vanu, but not the sovereignty.
Dun dun dun.
But going back to the customization of base building, I feel like there's a because you would be like, okay, well, what if everyone does different like camos just like that? That's reasonable. Have it to where if you put down your own silo, you can then select the default camo for every building that gets placed up after it in its radius.
Also, by naming your base based off the outfit that's building.
I think a naming bases would actually be pretty cool little like
I mean,
tidbit.
just put the fucking short
I-
version of the name
I'll
too.
be honest.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. If I had that ability, I would name every single base piss off.
I mean,
Yeah, I
it
don't
could,
doubt
it could
that.
just be
No.
as simple as running it the outfits
outfit name.
tag.
Yeah.
No, I would rather have it as the outfit tag than you can just name it as something.
Yeah.
As an outfit tag,
and-
that's also. This is going back to what we talked about earlier. This is also advertising your outfit.
True.
Again,
True.
going back to what I always say, this base is brought to you by the Trench Reapers. We dig it, you bring it.
Like for
Yeah.
instance, like let's go
But
back
then,
to
of course,
some of the old
like,
titles that your old bases got named.
My
Corvus.
biggest question is though, how much
Oh, yeah.
how much time and effort would that take to actually implement something like that?
For implementing
Probably
that,
not much.
it wouldn't take that
Not really
much,
much.
in particular because again, you've already got all the camos. You're basically all you're doing is tagging where the colors would be affected, would be implemented, while still retaining like the red, blues, and purples of the faction distinctions.
It's pretty
And
much like
then
the ugly
all-
ass reskins for Apex Legends. Pretty much.
Well, no, not even that. Like it's like you're
Mm.
not even like you're just applying a color swap on those things, and
Yeah.
then the biggest thing that you're doing is in terms of dev time or dev changing would be making it to where it all like connects to the node, which is the silo, and then the silo setting everything there.
True.
That is the biggest part, is making sure that mechanic is there.
True.
But you already got all the camos and the way they're set up. So like that wouldn't be too bad in terms of that.
But here's the thing.
like-
My next thing would be though, would they even do it? I don't think they
No.
would. Listen, here's the
No.
thing. I feel like anything with construction at this point is going to be off the books for the next
it would definitely be off
5
the
years
books, but
because it's
again,
like they've touched construction. They're going to move on to something else now. It's like
But then
I don't
couldn't you
think they're
argue-
going to
Not- they-
do
you could
anything with
argue
it
the
now.
same thing with bastions though. Then
True.
Yeah.
True.
But like in all honesty, Corvus, I just want to say this at least. They need to move on from construction because construction's argument has been going on for so long now too.
I agree. I want to. This isn't really an argument for like overhauling construction. This was just a little thing that like I feel like
It's
would
a
just
gripe.
put a little more personality. Yeah. If I'm talking about gripes I have though, let's go to orbitals.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, boy.
All right, I'm going to be the first one to
Okay,
say
which
it.
orbitals are we talking
Listen.
about? Are we talking about the pocket OS or are we talking about the?
Pocket, and there's this very specific thing that always irritated me.
I'm going to say this. Pocket OSs, I feel like should either be reduced to only one or should be just fully removed out of the
Armory,
armory.
So I
I'm
will
on the
actually
opposite
say
end.
opposite end, and there's actually kind of a
Lemon,
funny
don't you
story
dare say
about
it.
A gun
Oh.
that only shoots OSs.
God damn it,
No.
Lemon.
No,
Ban,
go to bed.
ban him.
Oh,
Go to
go
bed.
to bed.
Go to bed,
Go
Lemon.
to
You're
bed.
drunk. Go to bed, Lemon. You're
You
drunk.
said
Go
you
to
were
bed,
going to
drunk.
bed. You said you were going to bed.
Yes,
I
you
did
did.
say.
All
Okay,
right,
I leave.
so-
I leave with one more suggestion.
What do you got, Lemon?
no.
No, 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 no.
You
No,
said
no,
no, no,
no, hold on,
no,
hold on.
no,
We'll
No,
give
no,
it
no.
to him.
Let
We'll
the
give it
man
to
have
him.
his last words.
Max Medic.
Okay,
Max
get out of
Medic.
here.
Max
Get out of
Medic.
here. Get this loser out of here.
Yeah, get him out of
Okay,
here.
good night, everybody.
See you later,
good night,
Lemon.
Uh,
Have a night.
So
When he said max medic, did he mean like a harasser, but there's a medic inside of it?
No,
like a
no,
max
he
that
meant Max.
self heal.
No, but I'm just saying as the idea of it. Like,
Oh, I don't know.
No, I think he
He-
literally means a max unit that's more of a medic than an actual
Yeah,
The
max
max,
unit.
yeah.
I thought he was just bullshitting.
So
No.
going back, I don't know if anyone remembers this. When orbitals were first implemented, they actually were relatively cheap. And then first outfit wars
Fucking hell.
hit. Old, and I know Motive knows this. Old orbital strikes used to only cost 75 Cynthium.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
They were the same
Um,
price as this fucking the shield.
Here is my suggestion: drop the amount of OSs to 1, but reduce the cost of OSs. OSs are way too expensive for what they are.
Especially when
Or
we're having
That's
issues
a hot
right
take.
now,
That's
too.
a hot
simple
take.
fix. Here's a really simple fix. Just put a cooldown on it. I
Yeah,
don't know
no,
why.
agreed.
You
Agreed.
can just hot drop fucking
okay.
2 orbital strikes.
Actually, you know what? Bigger, have it to where it's a hex cooldown where you can't just drop 70 different orbitals from 70 different outfits on the same fucking base. We
I
have
was
all
making a
fucking
reference
seen
to
it.
when they
Oh my
accidentally
God.
turned it
Yeah.
on the one PTS
Or
and
we-
everyone OS Madison's.
No, I'm referring to the fact of the SKL Bastion that got hit by like 80 orbitals and died at fucking spawn.
Really? That
Yeah,
happened?
that was in Outfit Wars. Outfit Wars, they.
No. It was a it wasn't an Outfit Wars.
It
Because Outfit
wasn't.
Wars doesn't allow Bastions on Outfit Wars.
Ah,
this
that's
was
true.
this was Bastion Smash.
Oh, that's
Oh
right.
yeah, the Bashy Clash with fucking SKL's Bash just got fucking.
And remember, immediately afterwards, they nerfed the OS damage to the
Yeah.
to the Bastion.
Oh, that's
Um,
funny.
That is what I think of, and that is ridiculous. There should be a cooldown on orbital strikes, just in general. But like on hexes, like if like yeah, like I could just coordinate with Jason, for example, like, and he has his own outfit. Like, oh, I'm gonna drop my orbital since I can't drop a second orbital. Jason, can you drop that second orbital? Like, it should be a
Yeah.
hex cooldown. I think you shouldn't be able to drop it within the same hex within.
That makes sense.
I mean, that's also the question is like, how long should the cooldown be?
I would say at least. I would say at least
10
one.
seconds, 15
I,
seconds.
I would actually say like a minute at most.
I actually agree with a minute, considering how powerful the OS is versus vehicles and infantry.
Yeah, I do agree they're powerful, but I don't think they're powerful enough to warrant the cost at the same time. That's my
Yeah.
big.
I mean, if you're going to reduce costs, a minute. If we're not having to reduce costs, I will say it's shorter.
Yeah.
Say reduce
true.
cost, but implement the cooldown. That's the thing. And then obviously the benefit of the pocket or the orbital itself is that it wouldn't, or the base built orbital is it wouldn't be.
It wouldn't affect it.
It wouldn't be affected by it.
Yeah.
Considering right now the way it works, it's kind of
Yeah.
stupid. To be
Here's
honest.
the thing.
So-
Here's my personal opinion.
So
Go ahead.
Building
Hold on,
base-
Corvus. Hold on,
okay,
Corvus.
sorry.
Go ahead, Angus.
So the system that we have ready in place for outfit like bonuses, like to attach to bases, they can do the opposite system for that when you throw an orbital strike onto the hex itself.
Ah, so you're saying that the outfit resources, like get your name on the base that you captured it, is to not use outfit resources, and it's more skill based. Then is that what you're saying?
No. What I'm saying is they already have the system of like where you can throw the module of like cheaper vehicle repair, cheaper like vehicle pulling,
Yeah.
and there's a timer up there for that.
Yeah.
You can do the same thing, but like the reverse of like outfit resource used, orbital strike used by those people, and then there's a timer ticking down. So they can already implement the system in it. It's just it takes like maybe a couple of lines of code.
That actually is
You
true.
actually-
there
you-
already is a system for it.
You
I
actually
didn't even
brought
think about
something
that.
that in mind, but I'm gonna save it till later, a little bit later down the line.
They
Going
already-
back to what Corvus was gonna say.
I think all I was saying was that orbitals, again, like it's just a case of a lot of the outfit armory in general, the costs are a little scuffed, in my opinion, and especially access in particular. We need a little bit better like way of managing who gets access to what.
They
Just
just get
because
out
I
the
want-
fucking actual
well-
leaders of the alphas. That'd be nice.
Well, for example, just because I want somebody to be able to use a Citadel shield doesn't mean I want them to have access to the Colossus.
Mhm.
Yeah.
True.
Mhm.
True.
Here's
something-
I felt I could feel that one. The emotion.
Yeah, because the amount of shit. It's like people ask me, yo, can I get access to. Fuck, what is it?
Just say the Colossus.
I don't think it's
Orbital
the Colossus.
Bastion.
There's
I
something
just use
that
Colossus as
people,
an example.
people just like ask me, can I get access to certain X thing? And it's like, yeah, I would, except if I gave you access to that, I'd have to give you access to orbital strikes, colossi, bastions, and I don't want to fucking do that.
Yeah, it's the resource system is a little bit dumb and permissions. Having it to where we can go in and be like, like set our own roles of like, tick orbital strike, tick Colossus, tick that. Like just a little bit more in depth would I think go a long way. Because then I feel like a lot of outfits, not ours in particular, we kind of are more lenient on those kind of things, but like most outfits in particular don't even give access to like citadels or steel rings for that very specific
Or
reason of
anvils.
yeah, or even anvils because they're like we would give modules, but like then they would get access to anvils, and we only got like 6 of those in stock and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Which, might I say, actually, I want to bring up something with you say with the pricing of stuff. I think the Bastion in the outfit armory should be less.
I agree.
Because
That's
it's like,
fair.
listen,
Considering what they nerfed it
listen,
down to the
listen.
outfit.
Yeah, they nerfed it. They got rid of the Mauler cannons, but now it's just this big, expensive, I guess, support vehicle that flies around, and
But the problem
it just
is
dies
that-
too easily, in
I
my
mean,
opinion. Now,
to be fair, the fact that it can just stop cap timers on a dime is not nothing. Like, I do want to point that out.
True,
thing,
true, but
though,
you also have
it's
to-
not-
as a support
it's-
vehicle.
It's definitely not nothing, but again, I think I did the math at one point because like it's like worth like 5 or 6 orbital strikes or some shit like that, and you're just like, is that really worth
Yeah, no,
6
that's
orbital
fair.
strikes considering how fast they get airballed?
I would say, just as a starter, just lower every Bastion component down by 5. So the first one's 10, make that 5. The next one's 15, make that 10. Just lower it down just slightly and just see how that feels 6 months down the line.
I think
It's just again, I want to stress this enough. Bastions, in my opinion, are not in a good position right now. They're just too weak, especially against Colossus tanks, which I know Colossus tanks are supposed to be the counter, but people are shooting at Bastions out of the render range of like the specific HUD
And-
indication on the Bastion, on the Colossus tank. You know, it lights up the hard
people
point
don't
for
even-
you. It's like,
People
why?
don't even need Colossi anymore. They can just use the
Yeah,
Chimera.
the Chimera tank as well.
Okay,
The Chimera
here's an
tank
easy
should not have that ability to damage Bastion hardpoints with their main cannons. No
Here's
tank
a
should do that.
slightly easy fix.
Go ahead, Motive.
Allow it so that. So you know how only alpha members can spawn into the Bastion, right?
Yeah.
Make
Unless
it so
they-
that it's
unless
only
they
that
anchor
alpha
it.
Yeah. So make it so that only alpha members can spawn into the Bastion with the guns. However, everyone can spawn into the Bastion. Everyone in the faction can spawn into the Bastion, but they can only they only drop pod if the Bastion deploys. Other than that, when they press E, they immediately get thrown into an aircraft. I think that'd be a really easy way to solve just
Getting
Bastions getting airballed, because then you can have
Yeah.
like tell TR command, hey, my Bastion's getting airballed. All I gotta do is fucking redeploy into your Bastion and press
So,
E. And there you go.
Actually, my thing is, and I was talking with Jason with this, the fact they got rid of all Mauler cannons, I think that they should have kept at least one, because now
Oh,
there's
yeah.
not much for the driver to do.
Yeah,
It's not fun to
Mhm.
drive a Bastion anymore.
I
It's
agree.
like filing your fucking taxes.
But-
Like, You're
Like, don't get me
there
wrong.
because it benefits the group, not because you want to be there.
Listen. I can understand they didn't want to make it in the words of our dear friend Rel, a flying farming chariot. I understand why they removed it, but it didn't need to be completely declawed like it did, in my opinion.
Again, much like Rumble Seat Repairs, getting rid of the entire mechanic, I think, is going too far. I agree. I think everyone will agree that it definitely needed nerfing, but like, it now is. It's almost not worth pulling for almost every outfit that isn't the big ones, and even the big ones don't pull them that much anymore.
Yeah, it really is in this weird weak state.
Middle ground, yeah.
It's like,
sad.
again, it goes back to the whole. Oh, Molar cans are too overpowered. What do we do? Band-aid solution. Remove it completely, and we'll get back to it later.
The main reason why I see Bastions as a necessity to rework is the new player retention for flying.
Well, how often are Bastions being flown and how often
Exactly. And how often are people going to interact with them? If you see them on every alert, because people can have the ability to pull one, they will give more incentive to everybody to fly, to do something, to change what direction or how they're going to approach the map itself. If you use like a motive system about being able to chain pull off the Bastion itself, it will give more people access to actually flying in the game, which I believe it should be less ESF ground pounding, and there should actually be seriously.
Well, here's the thing, Hankus. Hold on. That's the thing with the Bastion giving aircraft for free. I don't think it's going to be ground pounding. It's just going to be a fighter.
No, it's
like
going to be fighter.
It sounds like you're implying that it's going to be just this cheap thing to do.
It has ground pounds on it. No, it doesn't have ground pounds.
No,
I know. Quite literally, all damage skill hat. Well,
I was trying to say. Yeah, I was trying to say that right now in the current state of flying, everybody is like remove the air-to-air cannon and replace it with your faction-specific rocket pod or
there's no faction.
What are you smoking, Hankus?
Why would you? No one wants more ground pounders in the game.
No one wants that. That's why, as I said, if you give them the access to have more people flying to do dogfights, then you're gonna have that.
Hankus, I'm gonna be real with you here.
I'm
gonna be real with you here, Hankus. I don't agree with anything you're saying right now because A, new players don't want to fucking fly. First off, like yes, there are people who do want to fly. Shut up, Hankus. Second off, it's like second off, flying in this game requires you to actually be told what to do. It's like I don't know how many times I've told new players, "Oh yeah, go to the sensitivity and just jack that shit all the way up because it is way too fucking low by default."
I want you to understand. I have 6,000 hours in this game, and I don't touch air to air. I will do light ground pounding and light air support. That is it. I do not fly for this.
And also, just to add on too, entirely, there's no faction-specific rockets.
Well,
technically, dual phantom
technically there is, but like, yeah, no.
They're unique. They're unique in the way that the frag grenades are unique. They're flavor texted.
They're flavored.
They're all practically almost the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are, yes, that is correct. What I was just trying to say is if you give the Bastion the importance in the community of a live game, people are going to actually use it and try to do stuff with it. I'm not saying... what I'm trying to say is if you give the community more options to do something and use a tool that you give them, this game is considered a sandbox. They're going to play with it like it's a sandbox. People are going to be like, okay, I'm going to go join that pit. Like, say, for example, people built a base, and now you could chain pull lightnings for free. I see a lot more new players being in the lightning.
Hank, you kind of just invalidated yourself right there because there is such a thing as the air terminal that you can build at base building that allows you to change aircraft.
Exactly, you can, but it would be also cool to have them have that experience of also having that objective the sky.
I mean,
You don't really
there's-
have objectives in the sky, do you?
Hankus, am I just hearing that you want more people to fight in the sky? Is that the reason? Like you,
I
you
do.
Okay,
I
yep,
do.
there it is. I was like,
Yeah.
this just sounds like he just wants more people to get into aircraft
I'm
and fly
tired
around.
of when I want to engage and try to learn how to dogfight in this game that everybody pushes out and runs away with.
Hankus,
Okay,
I'm gonna tell you
so
this right
here's-
now. Talk to Reaper. He'll 1v1 you any time, any day.
He will.
So-
he really will.
He'll give
Here's
you the
the
tips
thing.
and tricks. Go talk to him. He'll
So
be more
here's
than
the
happy
thing,
to help you.
Hanky, let me just let me be real with you, level with you for a second. We have something like that for vehicles. It's called vehicle bases, the player-made bases. Those are never really like fought at unless there's a player base at them. Why? Because it's an intermediary between the actual hard spawn of a next base. Maybe like an ape. I think that maybe like at a quad like cap base, maybe have one of them as an air cap might be fun. But having an actual an objective that is solely in the sky is a terrible idea.
No,
I'm gonna be
when
honest.
when I say objective in the sky, I mean giving someone something to do. A bastion gives somebody something to do.
I mean, this
Hey,
is okay.
you
Just to
gotta-
put
Well,
it
that kinda
this way,
goes back
too,
to- well, hold on,
that's
that-
also
go ahead,
asking you to
Dragon.
bring back air anomalies.
Hank, the problem
That was
is that
fun.
yeah, but the thing is that
There's a
first
problem
of
with
all,
that still.
there were people were abusing it. Unfortunately, that is the nature of a lot of things.
That's the community that everybody has. They will
And
always
then
learn how to
secondary, well, I do agree that they should bring air anomalies back. I'm just saying is there are people that abuse it, which is why they got rid of it in the first place. But
yeah.
the other problem is with stuff like that, like the
I mean, just to
you gotta
interject a
get
bit about the
people
air anomalies a bit,
to
Corvus.
fight there. People will like again, like what happens at current bastions? It is technically already objective. Do you know what happens every time you go to the Vanu or TR front and actually do something on their front?
Or as the
You know
opposite.
what happens?
Or
300
the opposite.
aircraft are inbound on your location in closing. Good luck.
That's fun. That's fun.
Not when
So
Not-
Hankus, okay,
not-
I'm
not
very
when it's
hold on,
fun.
hold on. Everyone, just shut up for a second. Hankus, I'm very confused how you're saying you want to encourage more air, but where that bastion literally does that when you fly it and you have to defend it because it's
Yes.
going to get airballed. So why
It
are
already
we having
does
this
what you're
huge
saying.
conversation about
I'm
this?
saying when people having a frustration with bastions and they feel like it sucks to lose them, it's mainly because of this cost. If you actually do implement these systems that are more player-base friendly, since it's more of a support item now than ever, it should be more like, okay, it's a support tool, it's cheaper
Hank,
to use. It's not
people
like
aren't
an
using
end
it
all.
not just because of the cost. They're not using it because it's not fun to fly.
It's not fun to fly if you just like, well, there goes like 6 orbitals in my tank.
I
Hank,
mean,
Hey,
What is
okay,
fun
no,
about-
okay, no. Okay, Motive, can you do me a favor?
Huh.
Server mute Hank.
What?
Server mute him.
Why?
Because
Why? I
because
was
this
just-
this conversation that we're having is stupid. Now, granted, I will
That's not a dumb conversation.
listen. I will agree that yes, I do like what you have to say, but you're just going on and on about this whole thing
No,
about.
I won't go on and on.
You are going
I
on and
won't.
on though,
I
Hank,
just said,
Hank,
I
Hank,
just
and that's
said
not
it
what
would
we're going
be-
to talk about. We're not trying to talk
can
about
we
that
quiet
anymore.
for a second? Hank, you're comparing driving the thing you're asking why people don't pull more to being on the receiving end of 6 orbitals.
or being
I
on the
need to
receiving end of
understand
about 3
how
different
we-
air balls.
Yeah, that's on the same thing of being on the receiving end of a bastion is different than actually doing it. If what you are employing to literally get a better experience is making you have less fun, why would you use it?
That's why I said it would be nice to have implement changes, and I listed the benefits. Like there will be
More
dogfights up
changes
in
to
there.
have better air
But
fights.
what changes are you
Yes.
referring to?
What changes,
Because
man?
making-
What are we
By
talking
making the
about here?
bastion- By making the bastion cheaper.
But-
We already covered that though.
Yeah, that's why. That's why I
We
was
also
saying
just we also
you
talked
agree.
about like Motive saying like people can just
I-
deploy into you and you can
Yes,
just press C
That's
and
what
pull
I
a
was
fight for
agreeing
free.
to.
So
that's what I
we
was
had
agreeing
this huge
Okay, clear
conversation.
comms. Clear comms. Let's just move on to the next topic.
Yeah,
Yes,
let's-
next topic, please.
Too much time.
Oh God.
I
what
hope
the fuck?
I hope you trim this down, Travis. And
Oh
Yeah.
nope. It's going in. It's going
Oh,
live.
Travis is
God.
edit for whatever reason.
I don't
yeah.
edit.
Okay,
I don't know
yeah.
how to edit, so I just
So-
load it live. But anyway,
so
going back to
going
bash
to-
customization.
Okay,
Ah,
so again, another thing that the customization that I really wish that they did was allow us to actually customize what the spawns and turrets on our Bastion was.
We would.
But you know how we all have the 1 to 10, 1
we
to
only
10,
have have
like-
two types of guns on the bash.
Yeah,
Yeah,
The
yeah,
aircraft
being able
and
to
the
customize-
bottom. Customize
Yeah,
that.
but
Yep.
being able to customize them, or
Like
or
how
maybe
many
even
we
give us-
have of each type.
I wouldn't even say, yeah, or maybe even give us more variants or something like that. Like, you know what I mean?
Lock on missiles to air.
Well,
Or
Yeah,
player
Just
remember-
don't give us the
cannon.
dingoes. Don't give us the dingoes, please.
No.
God damn it.
Because hear me out. We did this on the ghost ships. Remember, they had the lock-on missiles for the ghost ships.
Oh, the Halloween bastion. That's right.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Like I'm like an X. I keep bringing up shit that's in the past.
I mean, that was this past Halloween. Actually, that's a question now entirely. What are they going to do for this Halloween?
Probably the same thing, if I had to
But
guess.
honestly, I'd be happy with seeing the
RPG isn't exactly known for originality.
No offense to
they
you,
try
Dubs.
their best. They try their
No,
They
best.
I know,
try. They
it's just-
try.
I was curious.
So yeah, like giving us more weapons. Like again, more customization for the Bastion would be pretty nice. Also, and this is going a little bit into the directive thing that I was talking about. Giving us like some directives in the outfit armory stuff might actually be a little bit interesting.
Mhm.
Like we got outfit with like before people say, "Oh, that's like that inhibits certain people from getting it." Yeah, so do the bundles and so does the leadership directives. Your point?
Mhm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm
I mean, so-
sorry if you're not dropping like $60 on every bundle, you're not getting every directive. That's just the end of it. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
But like giving us a little bit more like direct, like for example, being the Bastion pilot gives you certain directive scores, like being the spawns and turrets give you like directive scores. And honestly, getting like a Colossus like Araxium trim would just be dope as hell. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that would be kind of
Or
dope.
black.
Well,
Um,
Wubsy.
Did we lose?
Yeah.
Yeah, we lost
What's
Wubsy.
Wubsy.
But he wasn't really talking at
So-
all.
Yeah.
He
And
was just listening.
but like giving us some more like reasons to like experiment and like do like other things in the directive lines, because directive lines I find to be pretty fun to do, and that might just be a hot take on my part.
No,
I like
I
doing
think
them. I'm
people. I
pretty
think
good
people
at
would
doing
agree with
them.
you on that. Oh,
Yeah.
here we go.
Um,
Since we're on the topic of directives, Corvus, why don't you tell everyone on the podcast right now about the Max Directive?
Oh,
Are we talking
Am I missing
about?
something?
Are we talking about my opinion on the lack of a weapon max directive?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
that, yeah.
I've always been a little salty about this. I don't understand why max weapons don't have a max directive, because it's just a little thing you slap it on. For example, it's just a reskin of the basic default weapon. I don't understand why that's such a big deal. It would encourage people to use max weapons that they don't normally use, for example, because we've all seen the metas and stuff like that. It's a little boring with that. And I've gotten so much shit by for like saying that we should have that, because it's just, I don't know. I just want to like have more reasons to use different things in the sandbox. And
Yeah.
directives are kind of my way of like going and doing the thing, using weapons and using things I don't
Yeah.
normally use.
I
So-
think when people say hear directives, they think Beetlejuice.
Obviously.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that's why some people will be like, I don't know.
Oh, I
Yeah.
get what he's saying, because he's afraid there's going to be, like, a new, like, max meta.
Yeah, exactly, like a Beetlejuice.
But
for,
no,
like, a
but that's the
VX.
thing though. It's
But
just.
no, it's
but
not it's a
it's
cosmetic
just-
change like the Kraken.
No, yeah, it would just be like
It's
a
just
cosmetic
it's just
Tempest.
it's just a shinier version of the minigun or
'cause if you
the
feel like
the
if-
shotgun
yeah, if
or Vanu's fucking pistol gun that they have. I honestly don't know what it's called. I'm
default.
sorry because I don't play Vanu that much.
Because I have more respect for somebody that has more Araxium medals than to say that they have that same amount of kills on one gun instead of like 10 different guns. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you have more Araxium medals, I feel like you've taken mastery of various different weapons and not just got really good at one and then just specialized.
Oh, Ryan.
Well, that's another story. We'll get to
We'll get to that at a
we'll have
different
another
time.
conversation about that
That'll be a
entire
different
website.
conversation for a
But
different time.
I believe Colossi, maybe Bastions, but definitely like the max weapon. The max weapon should get like directive lines like that. And
I mean, like,
also we have
Just to ask this
Conquest.
chorus
Hold on.
too, what
Okay.
would you put as a requirements to do it? Because you need at least 5 weapons.
Yeah.
For you can just do the anti-infantry, the anti-air, the anti-tank. You can just do all of them. It's not like you're having like it's not like where you're segmenting it into anti-tank, anti-air, anti-infantry. You just put it under one banner. And hell, if you want to be that extra little devious, you can make it to where you have to do it on both arms. It could be right arm directive, left arm directive. For all I care.
Oh god,
Yeah.
that would be a pain. Then that's like someone's got for some. I bet you I could see this
Someone
being.
has
I could.
arm.
Yeah, someone has like 500 on the left arm, but only has 200 on the right. So all you see is a max just like shooting with their right arm, and the left arm's not doing anything. I could totally see that becoming like a big
There is
fucking
you just see
frustration.
these weird combinations where you get, like, for example, you have the Maddox on one hand, you have the Falcon on the other hand.
True.
Yeah, you would actually see the mix-ups again instead of just specialization.
True.
But going back to directives, like another one that kind of bugs me, we have Conquest Osher. Why the fuck don't we have Conquest Indar, Esamir, Amrish, and Hassan?
That's a good question. Why did they add just a Conquest Osher? Is it because that they just
It was.
Because Osher was
wanted-
coming out.
It was part of
But-
the campaign,
But like, no, it wasn't part of the. It was released.
or like it came with it.
Yeah.
It
But
came
like,
with
I think
Ulster,
I think
basically.
honestly, like having those again would like, for example, incentivize to get better at other like maybe like run the other continents every so often. Like there's certain people that log off during Hassan, for example.
Mhm.
But like like just doing those would just be a little bit extra that would get people to like have a little bit more to grind towards. That isn't a grind fest in of itself to get better stuff.
Yeah, which by the way, since we're on the directive of the Osher Conquest, I gotta speak for me and my good friend Possum. They need to fix it. It is bugged right now. Trident captures are like it's like a coin toss. They'll either count or they won't count, and it doesn't tell you. And it doesn't tell you
can't-
what the requirements are to consider it as a quote unquote trident capture at this time.
For
So
me,
it's
that's been interlinks. Interlink defenses are buggy as fuck for me.
it's so weird. Everything else on the directive seems to be working fine, but it's just those two seems to be like counting towards it
buggy.
for defenses or captures is not working properly and should be looked into if it is a bug that needs to be fixed.
Yeah, for sure. But now let's go on to the little bit more of the saucy tops of the current directives. I think might be a little bit interesting.
Which
Um,
characters?
The current ones that are already in the game.
Mm.
So let's talk about the directive weapons.
Cannot speak
For me-
for Vanu or NC since I do not play them that much. But you have played for
Well-
NC.
Let's not speak about Vanu.
I will actually touch Vanu a little bit, and it's not for
Beetlejuice.
the reason. No, it's
Really?
actually not about specifically the Beetlejuice. It is
Really?
actually more about why the Beetlejuice is so hated, but it's not about whether we should fix it or not. I think the Beetlejuice is arguably fine. My problem comes into the fact of, well, what makes the Beetlejuice so interesting, and what makes the Vanu arsenal of directive weapons so interesting?
The heat mechanic.
E-mechanic.
Mechanic.
Yep.
So why does Vanu only get a unique mechanic on top of the normal bonuses that their weapons get for being directive weapons?
I see
For
what you're
example, the Fortuna, and I don't know what your carbine for TR is.
saying. Track
They
shot?
get the
Well,
added.
what the directive is track or oh yeah, it is the track shot. Yeah.
They
try
get
to-
your unique thing is an impulse grenade launcher, right? But that's not always the case, right? Like you can take it off, and the other benefit is just having an underbarrel on a full auto carbine, right?
Yeah,
That's
but the thing
light
with
assault.
that is that the track 5S does the exact same thing. So
No,
minus
but
the impulse.
That's my point, though. So why does the TR and NC ones, which are arguably almost the exact same as their default variants, but to my knowledge, isn't the VS one a heat mechanic weapon also? Are all of them
Yes.
heat mechanic weapons to my knowledge?
Yes.
As far as I'm
Why
aware
is
of, yes.
that
Correct.
the case? That is my issue. Of the Vanu seems to get a little bit extra of a difference with their directive weapons than ours. And I'm not saying, oh, get rid of like key mechanics on like the Vanu weapons. I'm just saying is, want to add a little bit more flair for the NC and TR. Like that's just a little gripe of mine that I've had. It just never made sense to me that they get the little added on top of that. If that makes sense, it's just
I
it
just
makes
have an
theirs just that little bit
unnatural.
more unique.
Go ahead,
I
Death
just have an
Dragon.
unnatural hatred for fucking Beetlejuice because how many times I get killed by a Beetlejuice.
That's
Yeah,
kind
well,
of my
that just-
biggest
that
gripe
just
as well.
comes-
It's just overused.
Well, you know why it's used so much, right? Like you know the biggest claim to fame it had is that
Uptime.
of course you have effectively infinite ammo, but the main reason why I know a lot of squad players use it, especially the Beetlejuice division, is because key mechanic it cools down while you're dead, so you get picked up with full ammo essentially.
Damn.
A full bag.
Mhm.
That is the thing that kind of sucks about that. Now, whether or not the Beetlejuice is actually overpowered, I'm not going to say personally, because I'm going to be honest. Hot take here. I will take the Godsaw every single fucking day of the week as my personal fucking LMG over the Beetlejuice. I
Agreed.
think,
True.
personally, the Godsaw is one of the best directive weapons in the game, but not in an overpowered sense.
Yeah.
It's literally if
I-
we're honestly thinking about it, the Godsaw is literally the most balanced weapon of all the directive LMGs.
Yeah, because all it does is it gives you vehicle versatility, which doesn't make you better at 1v1s.
Mhm. If I had access to the God Saw for TR, I'd take it.
Yeah, but that's kind of my
Goddamn.
point, is that and it even goes back into the Beetlejuice thing. It is unique as an LMG. Like it doesn't have like, oh, I get impulse grenades or something like that, or some like, like it doesn't get like an unbarreled grenade launcher. No, it gets something that's unique to that faction, and that's why I love it so much. But that's just again my little gripe with directive weapons, is it seems like the Vanu actually get truly unique directive weapons, even if it isn't necessarily good. Looking at you, what is it, Dark Star or something like that? That constantly gets nerfed.
I barely ever see the Dark Star to begin with.
Yeah. But at the very least, again, my personal opinion, I would take something that's weak over something that's boring. That is my personal opinion.
True. Anyway, I would keep going, but it is quite late, so let's
Quite
kind of wrap
late.
it up. Any final thoughts for the podcast tonight, boys?
Yes. TR directive weapons, faction
no.
unique, giving them an extra barrel.
Give them an extra.
What?
barrel. Oh, you want what? You
Give
want
them
like
an
every?
Double the fire rate.
you
Double
want?
the
You
fire
want to
rate
give them the
overall.
prowler treatment?
Yes. It will be goofy.
What's
and it
that?
Will make sense.
What's that one fucking?
You
In
just
battle.
you get a Tengu LMG instead.
Yes, pretty much. At 40 round magazine, it's gonna be gone fast. It's gonna be
Wait,
triggered
wouldn't
like a
a
20
Tengu
round.
LMG basically just be the jackhammer, but like
Yes.
full auto?
Yes.
Kind of.
What I was
but
thinking
the
though.
difference
Here's
is
the thing. Hold on.
jackhammer doesn't get any damage fall off.
Mm-hmm.
What I was thinking though with that, Hank, is like from like Battlefield 1, that pickup ability where you got like that little SMG with the two mags on top, and you just mow into people with it. That's what you reminded me of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that would be great. It's like and it's treated like, oh no, you have this incredible fire rate, but it's just you have this
Pea
great
shooter.
fire rate as for TR, but it's a pea shooter, right? So
Yeah.
these skilled players who have used these guns, these carbines, these SMGs and LMGs, if you give them that treatment, it's gonna feel more like TR. NC has that cool thing about like mid shotgun, underbarrel mid shotgun,
Oh
which
god,
is
you're
a
gonna get
funny
me
gimmick.
started.
Yeah, let's not go into. Hey, we heard you
Well,
like shotguns, so we gave you a shotgun underneath your shotgun, so you can have another shotgun.
Because
It's like
you'll start getting me started on sonic weapons, and I'm not about ready to
We'll
start on
talk
that.
about that another
That's
time.
another
We're wrapping up.
But
All right. Anyway.
But I'm just saying that would be a cool gimmick. It's
Yeah.
just
All
a
right.
gimmick.
So
Anyway. Corvus,
Yeah.
final thoughts?
I think overall I know it's rough for the dev team and all that stuff, and my heart's out to all of you guys at the end of the day. I know it's tough and shit like that, and I have faith that you guys can pull through at the end of the day. All right, as long as you just keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a
Death
little
Dragon.
8-man death squad.
Death Dragon. Any thoughts?
This is probably going back to the question you asked earlier entirely about something or from the last bit. Mechanic wise, I want to see come back. I actually want to see the benefits of the tech plant, the biolab, and the amp stations
Ooh.
again.
Ooh, yeah. I would like to have.
I would love to have those back, particularly because that actually gives us little mini objectives.
You know what?
But
Let's cover that
also,
in the
this
next.
also did tie in into when the alert starts.
I would say that can be a whole can of worms that we'll do on the next the next
Yeah,
topic.
agreed.
Yeah, we can talk about the
But
next,
that's a
and I
mechanic-
also want to talk about that next as well, which
Mhm.
is
That is a mechanic I
which
want to see
is
again.
continent benefits. I want
Mm.
to see those back, but we'll talk about that
yeah.
at a later time. We're wrapping up. Motive, any
And,
final thoughts?
I've got nothing. I am tired.
You are tired. You are ready to go into that bed and just pull that
Sleep,
cover
sleep,
over
sleep,
you.
sleep.
yeah. Just don't have any dreams about clowns.
Yes.
Ah, God, let's not get on that topic.
God
I'm leaving.
damn it, Corvus.
Why did you gotta bring that up? Ah, all right. Anyway,
All
all
right.
right. Thanks, guys. You guys have a good night.
You too.
Yep.
See you, man.